Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We hope you had a fantastic weekend. It is time once again for our Flash English News edition. I'm Daniel Cook, your host, presenting a translated version of today's top news stories. Over the space of 3 elections, 2009, 2013, and 2015, Aura News and IPR Marketing have managed to establish electoral polling in Albania, collecting the opinions of the voters during the local and parliamentary elections. This has been a successful endeavor by the Director of IPR Marketing, Antonio Noto, and the President of Aura News, Iulian Droci. Mr. Noto had this to say about the polls during these past elections. "I want to thank the Albanian people because the results were correct. I thank those who responded in the polls in a sincere way and were not manipulated by the politicians. It is normal for the polls to be rejected by some. The politicians attacked the polls, but now they understand their importance. The polls are a democratic instrument which were made possible by Aura News. Long live Aura News," said Mr. Noto. The Aura News president, Iulian Droci, had this to add. "I learned that even though the polls are very important, they come with a high cost in a society where the politicians have not yet embraced the contemporary and international methods of measuring the trend of public opinion. There were some adverse evaluations and reactions, some of which were ridiculous, but I do not want to speak about those today. Today, along with my friend Antonio Noto, I want to speak about the Albanian public, whom I have served since the first day and will continue to serve until the last day. The accuracy, transparency, and professionalism of IPR Marketing helped Aura News to contribute added value to the Albanian society by undertaking the only trustworthy polls in Albania," said Mr. Droci. The Director of Information at Aura News, Ilve Tare, thanked the citizens and the analysts who took part in the process. She encouraged the politicians to be more accepting of the results, as the citizens are. Based on the polls, Mr. Noto expressed the belief that the electoral campaigns did not have a great effect on the voters. Noto thinks the citizens had already decided who to vote for. He said, "The citizens' opinion did not change much between the first poll on May 16th and the exit poll on June 21st. Maybe this happened because the campaigns did not manage to win votes. The Albanians had already decided who to vote for. The electoral campaign was strong from the media viewpoint, but weak as far as getting votes," said Mr. Noto. President Ndroci made the statement that despite the critics, Aura News will continue to conduct electoral polls in the future. "The cooperation with IPR Marketing will continue," he said. "There will be polls every 2 years. We are always on the side of the public, and we will inform the public step by step. The contract with IPR Marketing will continue," said Mr. Ndroci. The Court of Appeals has decided to accept the request of the prosecution and sentence Arben Throku to life in prison. Arben Throku stands accused of murdering the police chief, Dritan Lamaj. He was originally acquitted by the Court of First Instance, but the prosecution appealed the decision, which has now been overturned by the Court of Appeals. Mr. Throku was not present in today's court session, but his defense lawyer expressed the belief that the decision was made under political pressure. The lawyer says that they will appeal the ruling yet again to the High Court. He said, "This ruling was caused by political pressure. We will follow the legal course of action because we have no other choice. This ruling is contrary to the law. There are no truly independent courts. They are all under political influence. We will appeal the case," said the lawyer. It has been learned that Arben Throku is no longer in Albania. The financial experts are saying that as of yet, the Greek financial crisis has had no effect on the Albanian economy. 2 former ministers of finance have explained that the Greek banks that operate in Albania represent only 17% of the banking system. According to Anastas Angeli and Ridvan Bode, our country has been taking measures since 2010 to protect itself from crisis in Greece. Mr. Angeli says that our banking system is both safe and liquid. "The effect on the banking system is minimal," he says. "There is almost no risk." Greece has closed its banks until July 5th, but the Bank of Albania reports that the Greek banks in Albania are functioning normally. The Greek crisis is expected to bring a large influx of Albanian immigrants back into the country. The experts are warning the government to take measures for the integration of these immigrants back into our labor market in order to avoid an increase of the unemployment level. The economic expert Costa Bariaba says that around 150 to 200,000 immigrants have already returned in the recent 5 years, but this number is expected to grow incrementally. This will create problems in the Albanian labor market because we already have high unemployment levels. The government needs to be more aware of this and to regulate the labor market, according to Bariaba. Albanian immigrants have around 2.3 billion euro deposited in Greek banks. The experts say that transferring this capital will be difficult because of the obstacles that the Greek banks will impose. They are also saying that the return of the Albanian immigrants from Greece will cause problems with the pension program, and they counsel the government to take measures in this regard as well. A good number of the Albanians have withdrawn from the Albanian pension plan in order to obtain pensions in Greece, which will now be reduced or eliminated. This is an issue that needs to be regulated, says Bariaba. 3 years ago, Albania faced a similar influx of returning immigrants, causing problems in the labor market. The Albanian economy did not gain much benefit from the capital that they brought from Greece. In today's Foreign Commission, the members discussed the visit of the Greek foreign minister at the end of July. Both Democratic and Socialist MPs said that they welcome the visit, which according to them shows the will of the Greek government to resolve the outstanding issues. The Socialist MP Arta Dade had this to say: "We welcome the visit of the Greek foreign minister. Greece is an advocate for Albania in NATO and for our progress towards the EU membership. The outstanding issues will be resolved with dialogue and negotiations." The Democratic MP Aldo Bumci spoke in the same line, highlighting the will of the Greek government to resolve the outstanding issues. He asked the Foreign Ministry for more information regarding an issue that Greece appears to have with the Party for Justice, Integrity and Unity. Bumci said that it would be unacceptable if Greece asked for the PGIU to be left out of the government. Six people were unfortunately killed last night in two different automobile accidents in Pogradec and Skopar. Yesterday evening, a van fell off of a bridge in Pogradec and 4 passengers lost their lives. The cause of the accident is still unknown, but it is thought that high speed and darkness were contributors in the accident. In Skopar, a BMW flew off the road and into the Osum River. Sadly, 2 passengers were killed and 3 others were sent to the trauma hospital. High speed also appears to have been a factor in this accident, as well as moisture on the road. The police have arrested the driver for reckless driving and violations of the road code. Thank you once again for choosing Aura News as your source for English updates. Please join us again tomorrow at the same time. Thanks, and have a great night.